Good morning. We'll go ahead and get started. So let's start by settling the body in a stable, comfortable, upright position, serviceable for meditation. So we keep our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap, right over left, with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching against the body. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open. And although we try to avoid slouching or leaning, we also try to relax into a stable, comfortable position without unnecessary rigidity in the body. So try to let your body just fall into place. And then try to pull back your awareness, no longer sending it out to investigate or understand the world around you, holding it just to the body and mind. Letting go also of thoughts of the past or the future, starting to use the physical sensation of the air as it passes into and back out of the tip of the nostrils as a way of anchoring your awareness in the present moment, trying to notice quickly when the mind moves to some other object without judgment or frustration, noticing that distraction has arisen in the mind and lifting your attention from that object and returning it gently again and again to the breath, trying to hold and elongate the periods of attending to the breath without distraction. and then generate an altruistic, mhm, very broad, all encompassing motivation for your time, trying to think of the purpose of our time as our vehicle for inner transformation, genuine spiritual growth and development, and wanting to accomplish those goals mainly to be of greater and greater benefit to others. Seeing yourself as the recipient of inexpressible kindness in every moment in this life and in all previous lives, and wanting to repay that kindness by developing your potential through your spiritual practice. And then today we'll contemplate the third and final major point of the 9 point death meditation. This major point has three supporting points, as the other two did, and those are the 9 points. But this final major point is that at the time of our death, only our spiritual practice will have been of any benefit. Previously, we've contemplated that we definitely will die, and we contemplated that the time of our passing is completely uncertain, could even come today. And now we're contemplating that when that does come, that the only thing that protects us is the time, the energy, the effort that we've put into developing the mind during our lives. The ability to generate and hold the mind in positive, conducive mental states that we've cultivated over years of practice. That's what will carry us through the time of our passing and protect us from the arising of any negative karma. So the first subcategory of this point is that our dear ones are unable to be of benefit to us at the time of death. We may be surrounded by friends, family, but if the mind is unprepared, then it might be that being surrounded by friends and family will trigger attachment to friends and family, a craving to remain in this life, even though that's no longer a possibility. Try to see if you have that kind of strong attachment, not a love or a compassion, not the wish for others to be happy or to be free of suffering, but rather the wish never to be separated, the feeling that separation is intolerable. Try to see if that is a tendency or habit in the mind right now, and see if you feel that arising at the time of death could be a hindrance. The next point is that our possessions and our enjoyments also are of no benefit at the time of our death. During our lives, we put a great deal of time and energy into accumulating possessions, comforts, but it's the mind that becomes more and more subtle, leaves the body, takes rebirth. So being surrounded by cars or a nice house, closets full of clothing, expensive electronics, none of these things are of any use during that time. So think how possessions can no longer help at the time of death, and how possessions can activate negative karma, perhaps, and try to think about the importance of giving away our possessions, because at the moment of our death, they will belong to other people anyway. Try to think about how this operates in your life and how you can overcome any attachment. And then the last point is that even our body is of no benefit at the time of our death. We put again so much time and energy, effort into taking care of the body, bathing it, exercising it, feeding it the right foods. But at the time of our death, it's the body that betrays all of our efforts. Damage to the body is the source of our death. And our body is caught up in our identity as well. We strongly grasp at associating with our body, thinking of it as me. And as the mind becomes more subtle, that association will dissolve on its own. So again, contemplate your attachment to your body and how a source of perhaps fear or unease might arise at the time of death when body and mind are separating. And try to think how to use this life to overcome that attachment, understanding that the body is not oneself. And then by having contemplated these 3 points, we should try to give rise to a sense that I must practice spirituality well I must practice it with effort and energy and dedication in order to overcome these obstacles. So, the first conclusion that we reached from the first point was I must practice spirituality. And then the second point was I must practice spirituality now. And now the third point is I must practice spirituality well, purely, with energy and effort. So try to hold the mind in that conclusion, that determination. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And then we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by meditating in this way, you've actualized that motivation and that you offer that positive energy for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking may it ripen in whatever way is beneficial for sentient beings, up to and including their enlightenment. May it serve as a cause and condition for the arising of enlightenment in my own mind, so that I have the tools and the ability to work perfectly for the benefit of sentient beings. By having practiced in this way, may my efforts pacify any hindrances to the Guru's long life, and may I and all sentient beings come under the joyful care of the enlightened beings. In this moment, may we be guided and protected swiftly achieve the state of enlightenment.